All right. Good evening, everyone. So we're talking about face-offs tonight. Evan Veripatis is with us. Evan, how long have you been in with SLOA?
I was a 2009 applicant, so I guess that makes us
So 11, 12
year.
years.
Yeah, 11th post app, 12th
All
total.
right. And this is your first or second year doing college?
Uh, Technically my second. The first, as everyone knows, was abbreviated,
Yeah.
but I did
Okay.
get a few games in there. So
All right, cool. So, um, Nasheed, it's not Memorial Day yet. What are you doing wearing seersucker? It's a huge fashion faux pas. I am incensed. All right. Let's talk about face-offs. We'll roll through this stuff. Evan will jump in. I gotta share my screen. Evan will jump in at his 2 cents in, and and then uh, we'll take a look at a bunch of clips, just to kind of like go over stuff. Okay. So, I sent a Word doc. I would highly recommend just kind of like following that. You can like jot down notes wherever you see fit. Um, and here we go. All right. Um, we're pregame's a little bit different this year. Than so like when you're doing high school games, with the rec games, even the club games, tape doesn't matter. Like most of those kids are probably going to have tape, especially the older, I guess 2025s or whatever. But you don't need tape for the club games or the rec games. But for high school, when we're doing high school games, you do need tape on your stick. Okay, it can either be paint or tape. All right, the thick tape, like the tape you would have like on bicycle handlebars, that's illegal in NCAA. It's got to be a thin layer, only a single thin layer. You can't have some kids will put like a string and have it wrapped around and like the tape's wrapping around. Can't do that. Okay. If it's paint, a lot of the face-off guys have the paint already on there because they're buying like face-off shafts. That's legal for both Federation and NCAA, but NCAA just a single thin layer. Okay. Um, we've been doing top to stop at least 4 years now, I would say. So that's pretty much ingrained into every face-off kid. So the whole like when you're telling them to go down, all right, you're telling them top to stop. All right, you got to come down top to stop. Um, make sure the hands are on. Make sure both hands are holding onto the stick. Okay. Um, whenever I'm given and kind of like pay attention, like when you're doing high school games, like once again, you're dealing with like high school teenage boys. Like their attention span is not very long. So like any type of pregame you're doing with the face-off guys, just keep it simple. Just be like, gentlemen, come down. Like, look, when I have you down here, got to come down top to stop. All right. The whole idea is to get the ball out as quick as possible. All right. If there's a violation, don't go running off with the ball. That's pretty much all I say. Okay. Just keep it short. All right. But the key thing here is now this year we're placing the ball down on the ground first with COVID. So this is a little bit different. And then you're having the guys, the Fogos come down top to stop. And so I'll show you how that looks or whatever. But like really just reiterate, top to stop. Okay, tell them top to stop. This is a lot, okay, but the face-off official, when we're doing two-man here, he's the one, okay, that he does the work. He's the one that's lining up the Fogos, okay, and make sure they're facing the correct goal. All right, especially after like a like at the end of a quarter. That's happened before. I've done that. So just make sure they're facing the right way. With COVID, this changes in that we're not given directions. Okay, we're trying to like keep the face off as quick as possible, and so like if they're lining up incorrectly, just stand them up and give it to somebody. Okay, you're gonna see in these clips. Okay, get in the habit of talking with the whistle in your mouth. Okay, because going like this, it adds an extra second, and it's an extra second that they're standing down in there. The longer they're down there, the greater the chance is for there to be a violation. Okay, so I use the the basketball lanyard like all the time. I don't use the finger whistle. But even if you are using the finger whistle, just get used to talking with the whistle. Okay? Like it's not hard, and literally just like walk around the house and just practice talking with the damn thing in your mouth. All right? Your family's going to think you look ridiculous, which is true. All right? But get in the habit of talking with the whistle in your mouth. Okay? Because especially if it's a sunny day, you know, they might time your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Like everything's game with the face off. So like just have it in the mouth. All right. Then down, set, no, whistle. Okay. So get in the habit of talking with that in your mouth. Okay. The wing official, just your main thing is you're making sure that everyone's off the field. You're telling the face-off guy, all right, it's good to go. Okay, so you have your hand up, then you throw, point it to your right. What I like to do is I like to stand like a yard or two below the like where the restraining face-off line is, just so like you can see out of the side of your eye if somebody moves off of the wing. Okay. And I'll show you, how that would look. And that way you're staring at the far side, and then you kind of have like your left eye, just like seeing if someone goes early. Okay. Remember, both Federation and NCAA, if somebody's in the box, that one of those wings is open. Can't bring a person up. That's not a rule anymore. Okay. You're gonna, especially if we're doing record club, you're gonna get some of these dads that played back in the day, and they're like, "No, you can bring no, you can't. That's not a rule anymore. You can't bring anybody up." Okay, so just be alert of that, and like, you can't leave the penalty box until your penalty is up and there's possession. Okay.
Yeah, on that note, Matt, whenever there is a penalty, I always, and I know it's short time, I especially if I'm the wing guy, I always make a point of going over and just reminding them again, because a lot of times, the people running the box in terms of the penalty, if it's not on a scoreboard, they're usually a student or something like that. So just going over to remind them that, you can say that the time is up, but you cannot release him. until there's also possession. That way, the box coaches are hearing it too, even though they should already know it. It never hurts to reiterate that to them.
It never hurts, and that's what we should be doing like every time. Like just say like, look, there's like the penalty's out at 8-6 or 8:28. Okay, don't leave until we say the time is up and we say possession. You got to stay in. All right, and just make sure everybody knows. That's a great point. All right. Any questions about anything we said so far?
Hey Matt, this is Ben. With COVID, we're not putting our hands on top of the.
We are not putting our hands on top of the stick.
Cool.
I'll show you. It's better for me to like show like a video of this but like in normal years, yes, we would. But no, we're not doing the hand on top of the stick this year.
Yep. Okay.
Anything else? All right. All right. Remember, both hands around the shafts. Okay, for NCAA. So this is the club leagues, and if you're doing any JV or freshman MIAA, that right hand has to be palm up. Okay, the right hand has to be palm up. All right, so you can't do the moto grip in NCAA. Federation, you still can. So if you're doing a rec game or a public school game, okay, you can, the moto grip is allowed. All right, not in any NCAA game, which would be club or any MIAA game. Okay. All fingers got to touch the ground, so you can't like have this hand all the way up here. All right. Hands off. Can't put your hand. Can't be touching the throat of the stick. So like you got like it's like one gentlemen. Let me see tape. All right. Let me see tape. Cross has got to be parallel with the line. So the bottom of the bottom of the pole can't be back here. It's got to be parallel. That's like something always to like look at with like long poles. Cause you just like all right, make sure your stick parallel all the way down. All right.
On that note, real quick, Matt, a lot of times, well, I shouldn't say a lot of times, every now and then I come across a player, especially in club league, or tournaments or something like that, more so than in actual high school. But you'll come across somebody who's got the head basically, because they're facing off, the head comes off at a weird angle. And their intent is probably going to be to want to line up, make sure their head is parallel. But A, their stick shouldn't be that bent, and B, they better hope they don't get a stick check because it'll probably fail one of the requirements. But yeah, just I would say continue to make sure that cross specifically stays parallel. And if the head is angling back away as a result, then
it's their fault.
That's on them. So
yeah,
yeah. I see that.
There's like one. I don't know. There's one stop. There's one stick brand. It's not the brand, but whatever. That is like that. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
You can't. I show this picture right here because you can be over the neutral zone or over the line. Like you're like this guy's knee. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Look at how, so this is the newer face off, okay, with both guys standing. His left knee is over the line. That's fine. Okay. His foot can't touch the line prior to the face off. His knee or elbow can't touch the line prior to face off, but it can hang over. Okay. That is legal. Okay. And so This is from like 2 years ago, this picture. This picture's from last weekend, okay? Notice both of them are in a crouched position, okay? Only the feet and the hands can touch an NCAA, the ground. Okay? When we're talking about the neutral zone, this is the neutral zone right here. This is the neutral zone, okay? You can't have any helmets to the right of your shoulder. You can't have your knee to the right of your shoulder. Okay, to the right of your right shoulder. Everything has got to be to the left of that right shoulder. So this is the neutral zone. When someone asks, like, I need a clean neutral zone, this is what we're talking about. Oops, sorry. Okay. This is a clean neutral zone. Both of these heads are, they're not over their shoulder.
And
Okay.
This is probably one of the biggest thing that I see when lining people up that they're doing wrong. And this, a lot of times, especially for the younger kids, they just don't know. For the older guys, they're trying to get an advantage by getting in closer. So yeah, just keep moving them out of there in terms of their physical head as opposed to the stick head. They just keep getting it out of there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any questions about the neutral zone with regards to the face-off?
Hey, Matt.
Yes, sir.
Just going back one step with the release of the penalty during a face-off.
Uh-huh.
If somebody does come out of the box, is it just a
Kill it immediately.
delay of game? You give possession and the guy goes back to the box, no penalty?
Well, so kind of so if no one has the ball, it's like a loose ball. It would be like a loose ball technical. So just kill it immediately. Okay. Put that person back in the box for a second because that's all that's going to be left, and give the ball to the team that should be getting it. Okay. Now the key thing to note there is it's a loose ball tech, so no one's gotten possession yet. So everyone's got to stay in. Like attack and D can't move. They got to stay in the inside the boxes. Okay.
If it's a situation where the penalty has released but there's no possession, then it would just be a matter of awarding the ball.
Correct.
Point. So
if
you
the penalty released and they rolled out of there, just kill it immediately. Give it to the team that's going to get it. Okay. Good question. All right. So this is COVID face-off. Okay. We should have our masks on when we're telling them to go down and then pull it off. So what I do is so I just have it in my hand. I'm like, as soon as I say down, I pull this down and put this in my mouth. I say set loudly. All right. I've gotten in the habit of saying it much louder than what I normally do because prior, when you had your hand, you're just saying set and then you're backing out. Because the hand was the verbal or the visual representation of you saying set. Okay. Because we're not doing that now, I kind of hang out like a little bit to the left, or if I think the neutral zone looks awful, I'll be straight away. But I'm like a step or two away at most. Okay. You can kneel like this. I don't. All right. But what I do is down, I take a look, make sure we're good, set, and blow the whistle. Okay. And like I said, I say set, I'm not like yelling set there. God, Stan Levy used to yell set super loud. Like it was like, it would wake up like the dogs. But But so it's not, I'm not yelling it, but I'm saying it, as crystal clear as possible. Okay. But notice here, knees up. Okay. I think by the angle, the angle of this picture makes it look like the neutral zone is bad, but I would imagine it's clean. All right. But we're not putting our hands on the sticks here. Okay.
So Matt, it looks like in the left picture they're touching helmets. Is that permitted or?
No, well, no, because then they'd be in the neutral zone.
Okay.
Probably. I think that's the angle of this photo.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like he's able to look down. But yeah, if they're touching, that's not good.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That looks like it's taken from like a 45-degree out angle for sure. If it was swung around, I think we'd see them fairly spread apart there.
It's Jeff Russo. Who knows? Couple things here.
Matt,
Oh, question? What do we got?
with our cadence, I know in the past it's been suggested try to vary up your cadence so the guys aren't timing you up. With this new, with the protocols in mind, do you want us to just get them right through it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I've always subscribed to the thought that my cadence is going to be different than the other guy's cadence.
Okay.
So I really don't like playing games with that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes I might, if I think someone's timing me, I might say, man, I'm holding this for a second. So just wait. Don't try and beat me. Okay. But I really subscribe to the and other people are different. This is just me. And I'm not the be all end all here, but I'd subscribe to the school of thought where my cadence is automatically going to be different than the other person that I'm working with. So that takes care of that.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think generally there is a desire to, in the COVID time, get them moving as much, again, you don't want to just immediately blow it every time, but like Matt's saying, don't hold it for a long time for no reason.
Yeah, we used to do it was called the swistle. Whistle.
Yeah, not quite that though.
Literally, this is, anyone's freaking watching this, this is literally me every time. Set, whistle. All right. Every time. All right. Successes and failures. Couple things here. There is no rush, and I cannot emphasize this enough. There is no rush to yell possession. Okay? Make sure the kid's got it. And he's been able to take at least 2 steps with it. There is no rush. Okay? This is a tough because you just assume he's going to get it, and you're just all right, let's just get this thing going. All right? I cannot emphasize this enough. There is nothing gained by trying to be the quickest person to yell possession. Okay? Because look, right now you've got a 3-on-3 situation. As soon as you yell possession, you've now doubled the amount of people because it's going to be 6-on-6 somewhere. Okay? You've just doubled the people and then doubled the chance for something dumb to happen.
And if you've got a guy in the penalty box, you've now just set him free.
Yeah, so just make sure the kid's got it. Like a solid step or 2. Okay? And he's not in the middle of 3 guys. Just there's no rush. That is a thing that it took me a long time to learn and to do consistently. There is no rush. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Matt, I have a question.
What you got?
All right, so let's say somebody they get possession,
Uh-huh.
and it's clear that they have it, but we haven't given that signal yet. And let's say a coach or somebody comes out of the box. So, I mean, it's clear he had it, but we haven't given that signal. How stringent are we to be with that?
Like, what do you mean? Is he?
So let's say that you're saying, okay, don't rush to holler possession. So
Correct.
the kid, he has it. We haven't said possession yet. It's clear he has it. But he's taken the one step, but maybe not the two. We haven't said possession. Clearly, you see that he has it, but people start coming out of the box. So because we haven't actually given that signal, but it's clear that he has it, are we being stringent, saying, well, I didn't give the signal for possession, so we're penalizing them for coming out before we say possession?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm gonna have like an awful answer to that. It kind of depends.
I kind of think it kind of goes to a don't be too good situation. As long as the guy's not gaining any kind of significant advantage. Like if the guy's picking up the ball right next to the restraining line, and as a result, he's coming, the other player's coming out and checking him before you've had a chance to wind and say possession. Yeah, that might be a chance where I call it and give it back to the other player. But if he's coming out, if he's 5, 10, whatever yards up from the restraining line, and the guy comes out, on his first step, and I'm blowing it by his second step, he's not gaining an advantage there. I'm not going to call that. So to Matt's point, he's exactly right. It's a situational thing, and you really just kind of have to, I guess, the more you do it, the more you gain a feel for it. But fall back on advantage, disadvantage.
Okay.
Is the player picking up the ball being disadvantaged by that guy coming out a step before you've blown your whistle? If he is, give the ball back to him. If he's not, let it go.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. Make sure when we give that possession, you wind, and then if we're doing high school, because we've got the shot clock, you're making this signal. So you wind. So I like to wind and then do the shot clock with like the opposite
You're
hand.
talking for the MIAA or club.
That's MIAA.
Yeah,
correct. Everything else, you're just
getting that 20 or 10 second count going.
Correct. Play-ons, and I'll give you like I'll show you a couple examples. Like, you really shouldn't have, like, there should be for any type of violation. There's for NCAA, because we're counting violations. No play-on. Kid leaves early, blow it right away. Okay. Even in Federation, kid leaves early from the wing, just kill it right away. Give it to somebody. Right, give it to the team that's going to get it. Okay. Don't, like, we shouldn't have play on. All right. All right.
Yeah, I would say no one's gaining a big advantage in that situation. I mean, it's not like they're going down the field after a ground ball and can get a fast break. There's no one's going to gain an advantage right there and then. So yeah, just kill it.
All right. Pitchforks. Really be strict with this. Okay. This was in the game a couple years ago. I think we've done a really good job of getting rid of it. All right. But you got to protect this guy's elbow. So, that dig right there, that's a violation. Okay. You've got to protect the face-off guy's elbows. Okay. He's allowed to go underneath the stick. He is not allowed to contact. Hold on. He is not allowed to go above the cuff. Okay. If he comes through and hits the glove, that's fine. If he gets above the cuff and changes that individual's, like, motion, that's a violation.
I believe. I mean, you can even call that not just a violation, but a penalty if it, depending on the severity of it. I mean, I would at least. I don't know what your.
Yeah, I would. Don't do that.
No. Okay.
Don't do that. So that's the pitchfork. Okay. Really be on the lookout for this. All right.
Hey, Matt, just a quick question there.
What you got?
Since it's in the face-off circle, is that considered one of their violations?
That's a violation. Yeah.
Okay, so it's counted towards a 3.
Correct. All right. And new this year, okay, the third violation and every violation after is served by the offending player. So it's not the in-home anymore. If the third violation is on that face-off guy goes. If somebody leaves the wing early for the third violation, that the kid that was on the wing goes. It's not the in-home anymore. Okay? And there is no violation limit in Federation. That's only NCAA rules. All right. So 2-man, this is a great job by this official. Now, once again, this is a few years ago, but whistles in the mouth. It's a really good job. There's nothing there. Hold. You're gonna have a push from behind. Okay. That is. I'll throw that out there again. This is a really good job. And that push isn't a violation because it's outside the face-off. Like you would only call it if it was like an immediate thing with the face-off. But look, whistles in the mouth. The blue kid gets underneath the stick. We're good. Up until that part, we were not. All right. That's a really good job of doing a face-off. All right, same concept here. Got a pop. Here, let me go back. Once again, whistle in the mouth. Really great job there. This is a 3-man, okay? It can get kind of crazy, okay? If you're in the middle of a play, stay still. Okay, it's like Jurassic Park where they tell you to stay still because the dinosaurs detect movement. Okay, just stay still. Let them like move around you because if you try and get out of the way, what ends up happening is you probably get like hit from behind by accident. So stay still, and then hustle to your spot. So that's what happens in this play.
In a 3-man crew situation too, if you're the helper official there, it's good to try and position yourself. See where the wing guys are and where they're coming from. If they're coming down near you or far away, and try and position yourself accordingly.
But I'm literally just in like the middle. Just kind of like. Yeah. All right, here's a play on that goes way too long. Like, it's clearly a hold. It's a good call, but like, especially, God, this field is awful. It's just like,
Hey, that's my home field. I'm making fun of.
this field is awful. But so it should be purple ball going this way, and then the ball ends up like on Padonia Road. Okay, like just kill it. That's a hold. Very good. Now you gotta like make sure. So because we didn't kill that right away. Okay. You've got to now wait for. You've got to look. All these guys have now come out, so you got to put them all back in. You've got to get the ball. You've got to put it in the kid stick over here. And that's going to add like another 30 seconds. Okay. Kill it immediately. All right. That was a good one. Let me show you some of the COVID face-offs. Now these are 3-man. Couple things like so. This was over the weekend. They do some like weird stuff over here that we should not be doing. So like, don't put your hand out at all. Okay, like this is good or whatever. This crew, for some ungodly reason, was putting it's like a benediction type thing. Like they were blessing the face-off. Don't do that. All right. And like it, you could see like that kind of like weirded out 37. Like for. See, like they do it again here. Like don't do that. Stay. Like just stay like a foot. That's a push. Oh, we didn't call that. Holy hell. All right. So don't put your hand in there like that. This is also this past weekend. All right, notice how the masks are on here.
You said with the pushes, Matt, don't do play-ons. If it's a push, just kill it and award the ball, right?
Yeah, that like they just didn't call that push.
Okay, yeah, I'm just making sure I'm clear. Good.
Yeah. But no, like, the only time I am allowing a play on to last for like 2 or 3 seconds is if it's in front of the crease and the offense is going to get the ball. All right, because maybe they might get a garbage goal, or if it's like a turf field and that kid's got like a total breakaway opportunity if he scoops up that ball. Other than that, I'm killing it right away. All right, and like the younger the age group, even more so, or like just be like, get it in someone's stick. All right, but yeah, like just kill something right away. So here is. So we got Penn State here. All right, so both guys got the masks on.
So I'm guessing he had an electronic whistle, or he had the whistle.
No, he had the gators that we have for NILOA are like super big.
Uh-huh.
So he actually had his that's Steve Rupel. You can kind of see it like right here.
Oh, okay.
Like he had it on.
Okay.
And two, if you have a lanyard whistle, it fits, pretty easily right up in there.
Yeah. And here's another one. I think there's a violation on this one.
That looked like a hold at first there.
Yeah, so this should have been a hold. Notice how like high he gets his stick up there even before. Like it's jammed. But the key thing there is, okay, you're like you're a step or two away when we're doing the face-offs. I'll stop sharing my screen now. And don't put the hand out in there. It's not this year. Normally, yeah, you're putting your hand on top of the stick, but and I gotta tell you, it takes a little bit of getting used to. So you're just kind of used to like doing the face-offs like a certain way, and we're kind of doing it a little bit differently this year. So it'll take like a little bit to get used to, and it'll take a little bit for the players to get used to too. So, like try and like, especially like the younger kids, like coach them up, like top to stop, and the younger the age group, you're kind of like doing a little more teaching there, where like, all right, you want to get your stick, like we're not being sticklers. When you get into like, the 2025s and 2026s, do it, be a stickler, and same with like the high school stuff, be a stickler.
Hey Matt,
But
what
yes,
what are some of the pre-whistle violations that you're seeing? Not touching the sticks and lining them up.
going early or flinching, and try and get in the habit of being as descriptive with what the violation is as possible. Like I like to use this example, like for any like basketball officials, you never say hand check. All right, because everyone gets pissy about like, oh, you're gonna let him play, or it's the hand. So you just say like both hands on them or redirect or something like that. Like, and none of those mechanics are in the the rule book. All right, but you never say hand check because it's like a flashpoint for every coach. So same kind of concept. Like I do like this for coach. He flinched. Like, all right, or I'll do like I'm not can't see me, but like if he's kicking the stick, I literally like blue ball kicking through the stick. All right, so try and be as descriptive as possible, just so that the coach knows what happened, and he might still like scream like, "Hey, what did he do?" And you can like let him know when you can. All right, but don't just say violation. Try like you can say like I've even like done like the false start. I was like, Coach, he rose up like it was like a false start. Sometimes they like get out of their stance a little bit. Or I like Coach, left elbow, move the left elbow. Okay, and I just moved my right elbow. So, but try and be as descriptive as possible. With that. Okay.
All right. All right.
And like none of those mechanics are in the book, but that lets them know what you saw, and so everyone's happier, not happy, but happier. Other questions?
Matt, just one more for me.
Mhm.
So at the end of a quarter, either one player in the box or a penalty down, sending a player to the box. So team A and B have a player in the box at the start of the quarter.
Okay.
Possession does not denote that they get the ball, correct? There's a face-off if there's one player of each team in the box.
Okay, so
It's an even man situation.
yeah, like we were 5-on-5 going into the period.
It could be 6-on-5, but team B, who's down a man, there's a flag down on team A. Even if they hold possession into the end of the quarter, they don't automatically get the ball at the face-off because you're going to be man down starting at the beginning of the period.
I'm working that through my head. I think you're right. Yeah. It would be 5-on.
Yeah. As long as it.
Yeah.
So
As
anytime.
long as it's not a dead ball.
Yeah.
Meaning as long as it didn't happen after
the period.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's even situation, there's a guy in the box for each team at the end of the period. It is a regular face-off. It's not given to who had possession at the end of the quarter.
In that instance that you just said, yes, that is correct. Other questions? All right. Hopefully we're the club stuff and the rec stuff starts happening soon. I know MIAA they're getting going as well. So hopefully we get out on the field. I'm starting to actually get like clips from 2021 high school games, which is something nice. And the more we can get out on the field, the better we'll be. All right. That's all I got. Thank you, everyone. And I will stop recording and